Hello everyone, and welcome to the 61st episode of the Poorly Planned Podcast. My name is Benedict. You probably know me better as BHL Hudson. Here with me as always is my friend, co-host, and across the seas but coming to us via technology buddy, Frederick.
So am I really there with it, actually? God, you figure that one out.
It's a real philosophical nightmare, this one. So...
the philosophers will have a tough time with this podcast, but...
Here we talk about movies, TV shows, a bunch of nonsense, and as you can tell, this episode is not pre-recorded. I mean, it technically, it kind of still is.
This is not live, I guess, but...
We are recording this on the Sunday of this week, 15th of November, so I have enough time to edit it, because this method takes a lot longer to edit, but we are back with kind of up-to-date pods, because we're recording via... we have Freddie coming to us via satellite, and we found a we found a method of doing this. So here we are, and hopefully this actually works out. So the pod is hopefully back, I would say.
Hopefully not dead.
So well, Freddie,
amazing.
Do I even have to? Should I ask for a Scotland update right up front?
My God, you wouldn't dare, would you?
I'm feeling pretty ballsy today.
I guess. I feel you being a bit bold here, but I'll let it slide. Scotland, all is very well. I don't remember what's happened between the last time I called and.
Well, we did talk like
now.
3 days ago, so.
That is true.
It's not gonna be much.
So nothing new has happened. Did I tell you that a fourth person in the flat has moved back?
I believe so. Yeah.
All right. Well, God.
So shut up.
There's nothing new. So can we move on from this update that isn't an update?
Just a Scotland statement at this point.
It's a Scotland repeat at some point. Honestly, I don't think there's been too much to say. I know that tonight, Denmark's playing football against Iceland. So I'll sit here and watch this over here in Scotland. Otherwise, genuinely not much happening.
Football is your only form of real life.
that and ultimate frisbee. The ultimate frisbee, we all know, is not for the weekend.
That is a daily profession. That's for the grind.
Yeah, come on, man! Don't mix that into the weekend.
Don't mix business and pleasure.
Come on, no, that's way too much business in ultimate frisbee.
Well, today I was thinking, given what we did last time as well, I was thinking we bring back the mini reviews up front right here with the pod. Now, again, we did call about 3 days ago for the last one, so there aren't going to be...
I genuinely don't think I've seen...
there aren't going to be as many.
New.
But, I'm trying to set a precedent here for while we can do these kind of up-to-date pods, up-to-date relatively speaking. Yeah. I do have one, so we'll talk about that for like 30 seconds probably. But
Okay. I've got one as well. So
there we go.
Contributing to the pod.
And there are time codes in the description if you want to skip ahead to the actual topic, which Freddie still doesn't know. So I'm looking forward to the look of horror on his face when it's revealed.
Genuinely do not have a clue what we're doing.
As it should be, So I watched Payback, starring Mel Gibson. I believe
You said that like you don't know if it actually was him. Starring Mel Gibson?
Might have been Tom Gibson. I'm assuming
Big Gibberson?
Pre horrible controversies. It's a movie from 99, I think, where he gets some payback. Some guys owe him money, and then he goes and he shoots a bunch of people and gets his toes broken by a hammer. So that's...
Does he? Oh, that's classic Mel.
And Lucy Liu was in it as a sadist prostitute who who beats people up and but in like a sexual way.
In a sexy way. Oh, that's classic Lucy as well.
She's not even in it that much, but she's the only one I think you would know of the cast. You're pretty uneducated on these matters, so
you're pretty kind of fool when it comes to movie.
But it was okay. I wasn't crazy about it, but it had its fun moments. But some of it just felt like weirdly kind of cheap, and it was like a throwback to kind of old school, like hard-boiled detective revenge kind of stuff. But it was all right.
It really resonated a lot with me. I'm one of those people myself.
Back my days in the Force, it was. But
The Force.
So what is your mini review? I've lost you here. Oh, there you are.
Well, let me tell you. So I sat everyone down in the flat.
Oh.
As I usually do when I'm about to get serious. And I said, all right, guys, we're watching Treasure Planet. And boy.
And now suddenly they've all left again, weirdly.
Suddenly I'm alone again. With an eviction notice.
Oh, man.
I've got 7 days and I'm out.
One of your favorites, I believe.
Oh, you know it. And the flat turned to me when I said it, and they're like, oh, well, we knew from the pod that was one of the top 5. I was like, shut up, you fools.
You fucking nerds. You fanboys.
Sat down, and I think they had a thoroughly average experience compared to my euphoria.
I can so imagine just you being like giddy and not caring at all that everyone else is just like rolling their eyes or on their phone or sleeping.
I brought in my screen into the living room, sat there genuinely so invested. And then at one point I looked around and one of the girls was sleeping.
So now she's been evicted for disrespecting the art.
Everyone knows you cannot fall asleep to that.
Well, it's still as good as you remember, I'm assuming.
Even better, I'd say. I watched it mostly in Danish as a kid, so I still need to get used to it in English, but I mean, I won't complain. Still very good.
Well, there you go. Bada bing, bada boom. Those are the mini reviews for this week.
And that's been another pod.
So I will tell you the topic for this week now. It's a highly requested episode, and by that I mean we got one request for it on the fan page one time. It is, in fact, Woody's Movies Part 2. And
oh my! I hope you've got a list ready.
I am.
No.
Oh, what? This is the extremely prepared pod.
Recording.
So.
Oh my!
This is actually, and it's going to be part 2 of 3 because I don't think we can fit all the Woody's movies since the last one we did in one episode. So at some point down the line, we'll do part 3.
And also because Woody's keeps growing.
Well, yeah, and we'll have Woody's part 4 and part 5 and up to part 78 when we are 30.
When we are 21.
But so for today, I think we have 9 movies here. I thought we'd just go through them. Some of them we've talked about before, but I think maybe we'll have a new perspective, or we'll say the exact same thing and same jokes as we did last time. Who knows?
Who knows? We love reusing material.
But I do have a little wrinkle I'm bringing back to the game here. I have in fact gotten a real piece of trivia, and I have made up a piece of trivia. And we're going to play a little game here at the end of each movie where you have to guess which is real, which is fake. Some are a little more obvious than others, but I still think you'll have...
I can imagine the most obvious things.
You'll have a very difficult time deciphering this. So, also, spoilers for all the films, time codes in the description. Also, just want to say, because we're doing this online and we're in different countries and kind of the internet connection might fall in and out and I have to edit this and sync it up, there might be some like awkward pauses or like moments of silence between.
But when are there not? When we're there in person as well. So.
Like I've tried to sync it together, but if there are the occasional kind of like weird seeming moments, that's why. It's because we're doing this online for the next couple, 4 weeks or so. Anyway, let's go to the pod. Back to the podaroo. I say we get into where we left off last time with, of course, Tag.
Of course.
What else were you expecting? Of
course we left off at Tag.
So,
God,
Tag.
A genuinely terrific movie.
June 2018 classic.
God, it's been that long. Almost 2.5 years.
Of just constantly thinking about this film. Just never leaves your mind.
Constantly thinking about how Renner never was tagged.
Just saying. This movie is actually... All memes aside, because all Woody's movies become memes, but all that aside, it's a pretty decent...
It's just the process.
It's a pretty decent comedy, isn't it? I remember it being pretty funny.
I had to ask, because you know that probably is not.
Because I know I should never...
Anything starring John Hammond and Nick from New Girl cannot be decent.
Well, I'm just saying, the cast is beautiful. Can I both metaphorically and literally?
Okay.
I mean, look at Holmes.
Holmes never has a sack of potatoes look better.
Jesus. It does have a very
it's great.
fun ensemble
got the
cast.
Ham. We've got Nick from New Girl.
I don't know if it counts as ensemble, but whatever. It's a one-man cast.
Ham carries it all. He is a method actor.
He is full of arrogant thoughts, if I do remember correctly.
Oh, crap.
I mean,
Yeah.
the
You know what scene that was.
the action scenes were pretty, like the slow-mo Renner stuff, that was kind of fun. Like, it had its...
I love that little throwback, or I don't know, what would you say that is? Like a little nod to the Sherlock Holmes movies?
I mean, I think it's more of a... I would call it a coincidence, but I...
No, I'm genuinely...
It was intentional.
I think it's intentional.
I think Renner would copy Downey Jr. like that.
See, they might not tell Renner that it's intentional, but...
If they did, he would leave immediately.
Me, compared to Downey, I would lose immediately.
I remember my one kind of big complaint coming out of it was that Renner and his wife never get any, like, comeuppance for being just the worst human beings.
Renner's wife is just the worst.
And she fakes an abortion. No, she fakes a miscarriage. I don't know how you would fake an abortion. She fakes a miscarriage. Yeah, and there's never... And Renner does a bunch of, like, stuff, and there's never really a moment where they're like... I don't know, just something really terrible happens
Nick from
to
New
them.
Girl said it best. I'm not saying I want you to get a miscarriage, but...
Yeah, and if you recall the classic story we told on that episode of the pod about how you wrote that to a girl accidentally, go back to that episode.
Oh my god.
If you want to hear that story. But Tag overall...
We need to repeat that story. I don't need to do that.
I don't think... I don't think we would want to bring that upon the viewers.
I think the OG fans know what we're talking about.
But I think overall it's not like an exceptional. It's mostly like exceptional to us, just because like we make every Woody movie becomes a meme movie. But in general, I think it's a fine comedy. It's like a decent way to kill a couple of hours and a good cast.
And, I mean, we've also got. Have we talked about how? I think at least for me, got a bit of a special place in my heart because. Did receive one of the best birthday gifts ever. I guess sadly has a relation to this movie.
I guess we get. Is this where we reveal this epic story of friendship and camaraderie?
I wouldn't say it's epic, but yes.
This very pathetic story of friendship.
This thoroughly sad story.
Well, basically,
I think so.
For our birthdays, for a few years now, we've had a tradition of where we make little kind of like skit videos for each other of I mean, if you listen to this podcast, you can imagine the kind of humor it revolves around. But for Freddie's birthday last year, 2019, I did create which to this day, and I've made like a lot of like kind of little short movie projects or whatever. To this day is the hardest I've worked, I think, on like a short film kind of project. I recreated the scene from Tag where Renner throws the donuts at Helm's face. I think that's the best way to describe it. In like
most PG way to say it.
very in like very very low budget kind of condition or whatever with all of our friends. And I think my proudest achievement of the whole thing is I planned it around the fact that Freddie actually plays Jeremy Renner, but I filmed his parts separately, and I didn't tell him what he was, and I made him think it was for like a project for school, and then I combined it, and I filmed with everyone else on another day, and I combined it all together to recreate the most horrendous scene in film
genuinely
history.
So good. I loved it.
I spent hours like storyboarding and all. Oh, bro, you have no idea. So, yeah, that's one of the. Yeah, and there've been many other terrible videos back and forth, but those are.
I think that is probably the favorite. That is the favorite. That one.
Well, yeah, that was a good one. That was a good year. But
I outdipped myself there.
Damn, I'm good.
You don't deserve me.
Well, I think it's time for the pieces of trivia. So, you have to guess which one is real and which one is fake.
Okay.
Trivia A: Will Ferrell and Jack Black were originally going to be in this film. Or, Trivia B: Jeremy Renner accidentally broke Helms' orbital bone in the scene where he attacks him when he's dressed as a granny.
I want to say the second one is true.
Is that where you're going with?
That's what we're going with. Because I will say, I think the other one is more likely, but orbital bone just sounds like something You're way too dumb to make up. So.
Well, joke's on you, because I did make that up.
No!
Because they talk about orbital bones all the time in the UFC, so, that's where I get my knowledge from.
Oh my god. You
So,
bastard.
because I feel like, I'm surprised you got that wrong, because I feel like you would have known if Helms had his literal fucking face broken by Renner. During
Well,
the
I didn't know.
But remember, Renner did break both of his arms.
He broke both his arms.
Yeah.
So I was like,
So maybe
surely he's clumsy enough to break his face.
that was how he broke his arms. He would just smacking Helms around, just swinging wildly. All right, moving on to movie number 2 in the Woody's. Oh my god, we didn't even explain what Woody's is. Should we do that now?
No, surely they know.
No, we have to. Just real quick. Well.
Okay.
We have a movie tradition where whenever we go to the movies, not generally, always, without exception, we
religiously.
we used to go to this cafe called Woody's. We tell the whole story in the first Woody's episode 28. We used to go to this cafe called Woody's and then see a movie. It was an epic tradition. We always got the same food. It was the most amazing thing ever and the best cafe in the world. However, it did shut down last year, which was one of the saddest days of our life.
Wait, have we told them like properly on the pod that it's shut down?
It's on your Instagram.
Oh my. It is on my Instagram, but still.
Yeah, they did.
No one likes my Instagram.
It's actually, let's have a moment of silence for those who didn't. Woody did shut down, so. All right, that's enough. That's all that Woody deserves.
It wasn't that good a place.
But and so now basically, but as we say, Woody's is not a place; it's a people. And so we go to God. we still eat before the movie and then go see the movie. But yeah, it's no longer actually the Woody's Cafe. However, Woody's movie still refers
still in our hearts,
and it will never ever leave. I will love it more.
We still meet up with all the waiters, so it's alright.
I will love it more than my firstborn child. And if you're listening to this in the future, firstborn child, I mean every word.
Did I stutter?
Now go to bed.
Daddy has to record a pod. Daddy's gonna go to work.
Yeah, it's basically the movies we've seen together in the cinema, basically. I think we've seen a couple more with like other people, but that doesn't count. So,
yeah, come on.
Skyscraper is the next one. I hate to say it.
No.
Yeah.
God.
This was a really stinky one. Yeah. Oh, Freddy's gone.
Okay.
Freddy?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Freddy?
Hello? I hear you.
And he's gone.
This is gonna look great on recording. I can hear every single thing you say. I just hear, and he's gone.
Oh, there he is. All right, sorry, we had technical issues there.
So I just want to say, I could hear you throughout the entire thing. Heard the immense disappointment, and he's gone.
Now you know how I feel when I'm just alone. I'm just, and he's done. I hate that you can hear that.
There he goes.
And another one bites the dust.
Mine is another friend.
So Skyscraper, as I was saying before those technical issues, stinky movie, really stinky experience.
Yeah.
It was just it goes in the DVD, a real stinky experience.
Wait, so is that in that movie he has to say Daddy's gotta go to work?
He says Daddy loves who? He probably also says Daddy's gotta go. No, he says that. Oh
no, Daddy's gonna go. That's in the Fast and Furious.
Yeah. God,
never mind.
Don't confuse your Johnsons, please.
Please, I need to keep my Dwaynes in check.
Skyscraper, which was coming off of Rampage, one of the all-time cinematic highlights of my life. It was just a big step down. Again, something I love more than my first.
How's a movie so similar yet so different?
It was
it was such a very, very forgettable Dwayne
extremely
movie.
Forgettable. I mean, there was, I remember,
there's a weird Hall of Mirror fight at the end.
Oh yeah, very, very John Wick-esque.
Yeah, of course.
Dwayne makes that epic jump, which he definitely wouldn't be able to make in real life.
Yeah.
A man of Dwayne's muscle mass could just never pick himself off the ground.
Dwayne he flies 10 centimeters and then just plummets like a sack of potatoes.
And then just credits.
You don't see how he died. You just know that he definitely did.
It's in a way you would never expect.
It's a bird that eats him.
It's George. Anyway,
George swoops out of the ground somehow. Eats him in one big bite. Shows the middle finger to the camera.
The movie doesn't end though; it just keeps going. It acts like that never.
He no
happened.
laugh. He definitely cry.
Jesus. The action was pretty forgettable. He has like a fist fight with his like friend at the start, I remember, and then he's just running through.
Yeah.
It had an interesting premise with the skyscraper and like the. It's kind of like Die
Wasn't that,
Hard.
like basically Die Hard. Yeah.
Oh, you're gone again. Damn it.
I hear you.
We're back.
And you're gone again.
It's so annoying. Oh my god. Sorry, more technical issues.
Like, I can hear you perfectly. Does that mean that it's my internet or your internet?
I think it's your internet because let me try to connect to my phone and see if that works better. Do you have anything to say about Skyscraper? Because I'm kind of at a loss for Dwayne thoughts here.
No, it left me kind of speechless as well. It's
kind of dull.
movie's
overall.
it's not great. Yeah,
Not a lot
very
to talk
memeable,
about. Yeah.
but not to the point where it's good.
So, 2 facts here. Dwayne Johnson lost 10 pounds of muscle for this film to make his jump from the crane to the building more believable looking. Or, Keanu Reeves was originally considered for the main role, but he pulled out because he hated the script.
This is a tough one. But
Now, how muscular
doubt
did Dwayne look?
Dwayne looked exceedingly muscular. But see, Keanu's such a nice guy that I don't know if he'd go public saying, I hated the script. Because then he's already condemning the movie.
Very true.
But then again, Keanu is a badass.
Very true as well.
Yeah, you see I'm gradually approaching.
You can't see,
a
but
point
Freddy
here.
has a giant board behind him where he's just drawing threads between things.
Just the red line you're connecting. I'm gonna have to say that the Keanu one is true.
Well, the joke is in fact you in this situation because they're both false because there is not a single interesting piece of trivia about this film on IMDb, which I think is very fitting. So I have duped you here. However, the rest of these are not dupes, I promise, or do I?
God, that I feel cheated.
I couldn't find anything like that interesting there, so that's what you get for that. Next up, The Predator, a classic Keegan-Michael Key performance. A tour de force
Truly,
of Yo Mama jokes.
God, truly a great Keegan performance. Everything else, thoroughly underwhelming.
Oh, God.
We've had some real stinkers for Woody's, haven't we?
I legitimately think most of them are stinker. I'm looking at this list here. There's literally only 2 good movies coming up. And they're both Glass. Yeah, The Predator, it was extremely... It started... I think it got worse as it went, because it started pretty decent. Like the... I don't know, the...
We've got the son guy in there.
It's already in the patient's mouth. Son. He's good.
Very good. Very good. That guy's great.
2 thumbs up for that guy. I think he's called Sterling K. Brown. But yeah, the... I don't know, like Boyd.
Don't pretend like you don't watch him religiously. You know his
That's very
name's
subtle.
Sterling.
I think he's called Sterling Kenneth
I think
Brown.
I heard somewhere that he might be called Sterling K something. Sterling K Purple. I don't know.
Like Boyd Holbrook is good. Some of the action's pretty alright towards the start. Like the Predator escape scene is pretty solid. Mm-hmm. But then it gets the rest of it is just such a...
I mean, I haven't seen any of the other Predator movies as well, so I don't know if that would help or would diminish the experience.
I think it would make it worse because it's apparently so much worse than the other ones. They do say get to the chopper at one point though, and I'm like,
but it's not even the chopper, right? Isn't it like motorcycles you're talking about?
Oh, it is, yeah. So I didn't even get that reference. God.
God, that was my piece of trivia as well.
But it just devolves into a really confusing mix of like bad editing and contrived plot devices.
I remember in the movie I had to tell you that Sterling K. Purple had died 10 minutes later.
Oh yeah, I was like, yeah, I
remember you turning to me, where is K. Brown? I was like, my man, he has perished.
an exact word for word conversation. I often just go to you, where is my man K. Brown?
I always have to say, my man, he's perished.
But then, also, yeah, the finale is just horrendous. Like, visual effects-wise, it gets really bad on that, like, battleship, and
Yeah.
Baxley and Key, Baxley and Key, they have, like, an epic death moment, which is one of the most horrifically beautiful things I've ever seen.
God, I would have wished that one of them just missed. And I just sitting there.
Shit. Well, now I'm still alive, and my name is still Key.
My name is still Keegan Michael Key.
Very powerful name on that, man. Anyway, they fight a super predator as well. It's like the Predator, but it's super big. And the dogs are terrible. And it's just...
I don't even remember. Oh, right, I do, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just it's a real mess of a film. Anyway, but, with some decent stuff in it, but generally quite terrible. Anyway, trivia. First trivia fact. Okay. Pull yourself together.
It's gonna be some stupid ass shit.
It's not even that dumb. I mean, or maybe it's true, who knows. Keegan-Michael Key was the highest paid actor attached to this film. I don't know why that makes me laugh so much. Or, Keegan-Michael Key was supposed to die much earlier.
No, he was supposed to die much earlier.
In the film, with his head being mangled at the start of the third act.
But what happened? They make it sound like they accidentally messed that up. It's not very... Killing Keegan is the easiest thing in the world. Most hated character.
No, like, it was rewritten, I guess. But, yeah, Keegan... For the record, Keegan is easily the best part of the film, so I'm glad he stayed in it longer, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think at all ever he could be the highest grossing actor.
I mean, who else was...
in any movie.
To be fair, okay, that's the one I made up. Fair, I don't know if it's wrong.
I know it's wrong.
Oh, Olivia Munn was probably paid more than him.
Yeah, Olivia.
And K. Brown.
Like, Boyd. K. Brown, nah, he did it for free.
Alright, moving on to... okay, I'm going to say a thing here, and I hope you know what to say next. Okay? We're moving on to...
I hope I don't disappoint.
Venom.
Okay, I've got two things here.
Okay.
Venom! Venom! Or... like a turd.
Okay, you were close. I was hoping for knock knock, let the devil in, but I'll let you I'll let you have that one as if you got it right.
Knock knock, like okay, that's fair. That's my bad. I messed that one up.
No, it's alright. It happens.
But combine the two, you kind of get those lyrics.
That's very true. That song is a real turd in the wind if you think about it. Venom. So, what did you think of?
That was it. We move on to the next movie.
What did you think of Venom at the time?
I genuinely liked Venom a lot. I think
Damn.
I think we've talked about this before. We've done a Venom review, haven't we?
Yeah, episode like 30 or something.
Yeah, way back when we were young kids.
We didn't know anything.
The world still seems so big now. Anyways,
sorry, just existential crisis.
I think that it could have been a lot better with like what's it called, like a +16 rating maybe, so it could show a bit more.
Yeah,
it's not me being a weird psycho, but showing a bit more guts and gore.
Yeah, there were quite a few moments.
As you know, I love in a movie.
There were quite a few moments.
Because there's a few things that are like, yeah. But otherwise, I really, really liked it. I think it was a great movie. And I think it was a great movie for there to be carnage in the next one.
Well, it does include one of the most memorable moments of cinema history.
Of recent cinema.
With Woodrow Harrelson appearing as Sideshow Bob, a.k.a. Carnage, with the worst...
What's he called?
It's the Simpsons character with like the crazy red hair, Sideshow Bob.
Oh,
anyway, I was doing a big meme on Harrelson's career and face. And
on Harrelson's actual hair.
He's gonna be in it though.
Harrelson's Harold.
No, yeah, that's what I meant.
Son?
You got it. Actually, that was what I was hoping you would say after I said Venom.
Actually, brilliant. Let's start recording again.
But I don't know. I don't think I liked it. I know for a fact I didn't like it as much as you. But
I know for a fact I've got way higher standards.
It was, I think, Hardy and his hardiness was really good, both as whatever his character Eddie Brock and Venom. I think he was, and that whole dynamic was pretty fun. And it had the occasional like stand up moments, like when Venom calls him a pussy. Pretty solid. But other than that, it was just sort of quite generic and dull. Like the first third of it, I just felt was like just like nothing really.
I just didn't connect with Brock. I think the first third is like probably the most ungeneric.
Well, no, whenever, like, before Venom, like, kind of, like, starts being a character.
You call yourself a movie reviewer.
Before Venom really becomes, like, a presence in the film, or, like, a character, I think it's just, like, quite generic and badly edited, and, like, whatever. And then there's a bit of time where Venom is there, and he's kind of, like, that's kind of fun. And then, by the end, like, the third act is just, like, a weird kind of CGI slugfest. And also, doesn't Hardy get stabbed in, like,
the final battle is a bit weird. Sorry?
Doesn't Hardy get like skewered? But then Venom like heals him or something?
When does Hardy not get skewered is the question.
It's in his contract for every movie.
Please skewer me.
Pretty sure that's a term for something else also, so we should probably should cut this out, but maybe I won't, I don't know. Maybe I'm feeling like a rebel today.
Maybe I'll be fresh skew, I don't know. Maybe I'll be a bit of a naughty editor today.
Oh my god! I don't think there's a less sexy word than editor for like for anything. Oh man, it's in my Tinder bio. Editor.
PHL Hudson. Editor.
Smiley face.
Wiki face.
Devil emoji. It's so ambiguous. You don't know what it's supposed to mean, but it's very intriguing. That's the good
But you know it's hella freaky.
Oh my god. I'm crying. Jesus. Anyway.
And then P.S. Also YouTuber.
P.S. Not a YouTuber. Raises a lot more questions. God. Anyway, Venom, pretty bad movie. Sorry, Jesus. All right, trivia time. All right, trivia number 1.
All right, trivia time from the editor.
Tom Hardy considers Venom the coolest Marvel hero because, quote, he has a brazen swagger. Or trivia 2.
I just want to say, I hope to God that is not made up, because if it is, you sir are a loser.
Or
written that braces.
Or trivia 2.
Actually, I kind of hope that it isn't true, just so I can laugh at you.
Tom Hardy actually ate trash in the scene where he eats trash.
Both horrendous choices. I feel like I did read. I feel like I read somewhere that he ate leftovers, so it wasn't like in a proper trash can, but it was like, I don't know.
What you saying, Fidalgard?
I don't want to say. Okay. No, I'll go because I have faith in you. I'll say the first one is true.
Incorrect. It
Oh my God.
Oh wait, no, it was. Sorry, my bad.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, I was gonna say.
I did not come up with brazen
Incorrect.
swagger.
I am the brazen swagger.
That was, in fact, the full quote is, he has a brazen swagger and a zero foxtrot attitude, which I have to admit I don't know what that means, but that's
Foxtrot.
just something Hardy
Isn't
said.
that like a scouts thing?
No idea. And also, maybe he did eat trash. I don't know. I didn't fact check that wasn't true, but I did make that one up. Now, I hate to tell you this, but the next film is, in fact, Johnny English 3.
Oh my god, no. God, this speaking of stinkers, this movie I think I was very, very let down by.
Really? This is one of the least stinky ones on this list for me. Like, it's terrible, but like I was expecting it to be terrible. And
when you said there's 2 good movies, was this one of them?
They're still to come, don't worry.
Okay, I was gonna say.
But this one wasn't. Yeah, this one was pretty. It was bad, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But were you expecting it to be anything else than what it ended up being?
Yes. Wait, sorry, I'm eating a bounty.
Understandable.
It's because I love the first 2 Johnny English movies. They're so good, and they're so like. It kind of blurs the line between being heartfelt at times, in that there's a scene that almost like that gives me goosebumps for some weird reason. And this is I kid you not, in Johnny English 2, when Daniel what's the guy, Daniel Kaluuya, is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in. So when he does something, he's like, Johnny English leans back and pulls like some umbrella that shoots a rocket, and then he goes, "Tucker, you clever boy," and that gets me. And I kid you not, 'tis true.
I don't doubt it.
But anyways, where I was going with this whole thing is that this thing just seems so like dumbed down. Like it's a stupid movie, but it's dumbed down even more so. And it just I just say I enjoyed the dance scene where Johnny is full on crack or whatever.
Yeah, that was a good moment. That was the highlight, clearly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I've seen the other ones, but it was like a long time ago. But I think I was expecting it to be like a really dumb comedy that, like, to be honest, like I would never watch it alone. But like, cause we watched it together and we were like, having a good time.
But then again, I never watch anything alone. Hashtag many friends.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, like, cause we watched it, I had a good time. But like, I feel like if I watched this on my own, I'd be like, yeah, that was just a like bad comedy. Like I don't know if there were any like unironic laughs besides that dance scene, but that was also kind of an ironic laugh.
Yeah, no. If you found that dance scene to actually be the peak of humor, I've got news for you, buddy.
Yeah, he does like a VR
podcast.
thing.
No more.
It's yeah, I mean he's clearly like giving it his, I love Rowan Atkinson. He's doing his thing, but not a great comedy, is it?
He's clearly not giving his all there at all.
Well, trivia time, I guess.
Wait, we have to address the Pete in the room. That's there.
You would have forgotten about the Pete. I never would have mentioned the Pete. Yeah, Pete is terrible at this. He's the villain. Isn't he trying to? Oh yeah, the whole thing is about like Pete's trying to take over the world with computers, and then Johnny English is like, but I love like analog and stuff and like old school gadgets, not computers. You, Pete. Then he shoots him in the head. Yeah, what do you think of Pete? What are your Pete takes?
I don't know. I know you love Pete, but I'm not a big
I
fan.
love Pete in The Office. I do not like him in anything else I've seen him in.
The rest of his career is jokes. But
God.
All right, go on. Trivia.
Okay, trivia 1. Rowan Atkinson was actually drugged during this scene where he dances. Or trivia 2. It's rumored that this is the last Johnny English movie and Rowan Atkinson played the role for the last time after 15 years. I'll spoil it. That one's the right one. I just included it because I thought it was funny that, like, that's somehow news to anyone. Like, really?
Really? You ever think Rowan would go back to that show of a franchise?
Oh, man. All right, moving on. And I think genuinely, it's not the worst movie we've ever seen at Woody's, but it was the worst experience I've ever had at Woody's. Like, movie-wise.
Okay.
Because it wasn't even, like, even the terrible ones are, like, quite funny, Like, this was just bad. And that's Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald.
That is true. That truly was.
It was just not, like, we walked out of it and you know us, we're normally bubbling with humor.
You know us, we're super chippy.
And we walked out of that and we were just like, like we didn't have anything like even funny to say about it. We were just like, well, that was.
And when our humor tank runs dry, people, a movie is terrible.
Like, it was just a bad, but it wasn't bad. Like it had good moments and
Yeah. In fairness, I have to say I haven't seen any of the Harry Potter movies or the previous ones.
Well, that also
I'm still a little bit lost.
That also made it a bit. I think that was it was a poor choice on my part too. I thought that Johnny would like carry it, but clearly you were still very.
But he was. Yeah.
His presence could not even help you understand this film.
It was, Johnny. I usually use Johnny as a guider.
It had its moments. I think the effects are amazing, and like the music, like technically everything's quite good, but it was just like a really not interesting story that felt like it kind of went nowhere until they just all started yelling exposition at each other in like a tomb at the end, and then Johnny became
and then Queenie or whatever. I really did not like that Queenie character.
Queenie was terrible.
She, like, betrays them, and
Kowalski was good. I think that was his name. The friend. I liked him.
The weird penguin from Madagascar.
I have some trivia unless you have anything else to add.
No, really, for this movie, I do not have anything.
Also, you'll notice about this episode, it's mostly just give like 2 sentences in the film and then go off about something that's completely random and then just trivia. So it's not really the most in-depth reviews.
Are we not the poorly planned?
There we go. And also, we have reviews for most of these, to be fair. So
like, shut up, guys.
Yeah, it's everyone who was definitely complaining about that. Trivia 1. The early rumors of who could play the young Albus Dumbledore. He was, by the way, I have to say, Jude Law is fantastic. That's the best part of the film. So anyway, the other actors rumored were Christian Bale, Benedict Cumberbatch, and Jared Harris, the son of Richard Harris, who played Dumbledore in the first 2 Harry Potter films. Or, Trivia 2, Jude Law brutally attacked an assistant who brought him the wrong brand of coffee, and the assistant remains in the hospital to this day.
Well, it's got to be that one. That one's so true.
I remember that story.
I was the assistant.
Then we have arguably, potentially the best Woody's movie of all time. Actually, no, that has to go to Rampage. Okay. But up there,
yeah,
top 3, Robin Hood.
Okay.
We
Yes. Oh my.
There recently was a video on this channel about Robin Hood.
What was the last proper Woody's movie before Woody closed?
It was whatever was right before Gemini Man. So I have a Woody's list here. Let me pull that up. Because I remember Gemini Man was when
that we used Gemini Man as a measuring system.
Gemini Man was when it closed. I think it was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, actually. Yeah, it was. But we'll get to that in part 3 of the Woody's movies, obviously.
Woo! Oh my.
But anyway, Robin Hood. I think maybe we should glance over this one a little bit because we just have that video put up of us talking.
That is true. That is true.
Talking about it from our old review, but in general, just an absolutely hysterical, so bad it's good movie. God,
what a terrible. Again,
it's filled to the brim with memorable moments and characters and just horrendousness, and really helped to cleanse the palate after Fantastic Beasts 2. So I'll just I'll hop into the trivia here. So trivia 1, YouTube sensation Lars Andersen, I don't know why I said it like that, Lars Andersen of Denmark, was hired to teach the cast archery. Lars Andersen is famous for creating a YouTube video where he demonstrates extraordinary archery skills, earning him...
Oh, is that the guy who can, like, fire...
Yes.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah, earning him the nickname the real-life Legolas. And yeah, like you just said, most notably, Lars is able to hit incoming arrows in flight and shoot and hit 3 marks while performing a single jump from the ground. So... I may have come up with that fact.
I definitely know that's true, but whether or not he taught Terran, that would cost a lot of money.
Just to put up with Terransness.
Yeah.
Or
Edgerton and his weird ways.
Option B, Jamie Foxx was, quote, disappointed to have so few scenes together with Jamie Dornan, and as he is a really big fan of the 50 Shades of Grey series.
You know, I wish that was true, but I know for a fact that you just made Jamie and... oh my god. Jamie and Jamie.
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah, that's the most surprising thing of this whole thing, I'd say. But I'm going to have to say that the Lars Andersen thing is true.
It is indeed. So I thought that was good because Denmark represent, on the worst film of all time. Then one of the 2 good movies... Creed.
How many movies do we have left in this, by the way?
We have 3. Do you have to go soon, by the way?
No, I don't.
Okay. No, we have 3 left. And then, of course, the announcements and such. Yeah, so Creed 2.
Creed 2. I know you have a huge fan boner for this franchise.
That's a good way to put it. I do, yes. I do love Creed and Creed 2.
I forgot, was Creed 2 better than Creed 1?
No. In my all-encompassing take. The only one that matters. Yeah. But it's still just an absolute amazing movie that inspires me greatly.
Because I think I like this one more than the first one.
I understand, given your taste.
Just because Drago's in it. I understand your buffoonery.
Well, I think because also you're a really big fan of Rocky 3 and 4, and this one is definitely much more like
it pays homage.
Yeah, and it's more like Creed 1 is a lot more like Rocky 1, where it's kind of grounded and like realistic, and this one's a bit more over the top, kind of, like, I mean, Victor Drago is a ridiculous, stupid size of a man. Like, they're not even in the same weight class realistically. Like, they shouldn't be. Like, it's yeah, he goes from like
bring out all your boxing knowledge. It's ridiculous. His weight is 5 pounds too much. Jesus.
Well, like in the first film, he does bulk up between the 2 films. But in the first film, he's a cruiserweight or like a light heavyweight, and the second one, he's a heavyweight, and it just like he would. Yeah. Anyway, God, not to get too technical on you there. I've been studying the game lately.
Uppercut, thigh shot, knockout.
Shot. Jesus. But it's just it's a really good, like, character stuff is solid. It's not as well paced as the first one, but the training montage, the final fight, it's more over the top and cinematic, but it's very, very fun. And when he knocks him down,
it's also got two of the greatest things ever.
The moment.
And what's the other one that I'm forgetting now?
It might be when Bianca gets pregnant and Donnie goes...
And he goes, that's crazy.
There's the moment when Rocky walks in after Bianca's given birth, and he just has the iconic moment where he just goes, yo. But it has a lot of great character stuff and just some more classic Rocky stuff. When he knocks Drago down, it's just like, bellissimo. What a moment.
And then Drago has to throw in the towel.
And also, I will say the one thing it really does better than the first film. The first film's alright with this, but the villains or the antagonists are both Dragos are great in this. Their stories, their performances.
Very, very good.
You love to see some what's his name, Dolph.
What's the word I'm looking for here? Oh, Dolph. That's right.
So my 2 pieces of trivia here. First piece of trivia: Florian Montanou, the actor who portrays Victor Drago, said recently, YouTuber BHL Hudson would kick my ass in a boxing fight. I may have the weight, reach, height, and muscle mass on him, but his tenacity and pure skill would absolutely ruin me. Plus, he's a total hunk, and to be honest, just the thought of it terrifies me. Also, he's been doing boxing for beginners.
Very likely. Very likely. Word has gotten out, I hear. That is, I don't doubt that. Go on.
Or
what's the second one?
Option 2.
I'm already leaning towards this one.
Birgitte Nielsen, who reprises her role from Rocky IV as Ivan Drago's ex-wife, is in real life the ex-wife of Sylvester Stallone. They were engaged during the filming of Rocky IV, married after the premiere, and divorced 2 years later. And she's also Danish. So that one would be...
This is really tough because I know both of these are true. So I'm just going to have to go with the one that sounds the best, I guess, and say the first one is true.
Correctamundo.
Oh, yes!
I just remember because I saw...
God, you're so stupid.
I saw Creed 2.
What was this guy's stage name? Or like,
Big Nasty.
Like nickname? Yeah, Big Nasty. Big Nasty saying, I'm terrified of BHL Hudson,
the editor. Oh my god. Also, I remember I saw Creed 2 with like my dad and my grandpa. When we came out of it, my dad was like, "Do you know who Drago's ex-wife was?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "It's a Danish actress, Birgitte Nielsen. She." I was like, "All right." he was very.
All right, shut the.
It was like I was like.
And then I showed him why Big Nasty is afraid of me.
I was kind of like, well, what about this part? And the only part he seemed to really care about was Birgitte Nielsen was in it. Danish actress. Anyway, then we have moved on to Glass.
Glass. The greatest movie of all time.
So what did you think of Glass?
God, I think this might be one of the biggest letdowns. I think.
Because we were thinking this would be actually good.
Yeah, because I actually thought that Samuel would bring it, but
I mean, you can't say Samuel didn't bring it. All the actors brought it, I would say.
Yeah, I guess.
If I have to admit it.
Right. Yeah. No, I think McAvoy's great.
Actually, Willis.
I think
didn't
Willis
really bring it, did he?
Yeah, Willis was just kind of weird and mopey, as Willis tends to be. And Samuel, I guess, is, I don't know. Yeah, I was expecting more from Samuel. Like he was fine, but I think they should have done more with the character. That makes sense.
Yeah,
because they made him sound like a superhero, but he just seemed kind of smart, you know. Like, oh, his super intelligence. I was like, come on.
Well, he didn't. Yeah, he didn't really.
Samuel.
It was a bit confusing in terms of the character's powers. Neither of us have seen Unbreakable, by the way, if that plays a factor. But it played a bit fast and loose with like the character's abilities and like the rules of the world, and it was a bit of a. I mean, I don't want to say it was a stupid film because like a lot of films have like silly plots or whatever, but like you did kind of walk out of it thinking like that was a bit of a. It's kind of stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think the movie thought it was more clever than it was. You know what I mean? And
kind of like a BHL Hudson Tinder profile.
And it was also like it was pretty like I didn't even think it was terrible, but it was really like underwhelming. Like it was like nothing really.
Yeah, it was just I kind of walked in. I was like, ooh, cool cast. Samuel looking kind of diabolical.
You love to see it,
as Samuel usually does. And then it was kind of meh. You know?
Yeah, it really was. Another great Woody review there. We really choose the best films for Woody's. So, my trivia here. Samuel L. Jackson said of working with James McAvoy on this film, "As good as I like to think I am, or what I do and how I do it, watching somebody transform characters in front of your eyes and have an argument with 4 different people is pretty amazing." And now I will admit, for trivia 2, I think I forgot to finish it because it just says James McAvoy. So I think I just started writing it. I was like, I'll get back to that. And I just never went back to it. So it just says fake James McAvoy.
I think that is...
Clearly that's the real one.
It's very, very true that he is very fake. Fake James McAvoy.
And then finally...
Oh, damn. So Samuel's just slobbing all over McAvoy.
Yeah, no, Samuel was very impressed, which if you can impress such a diabolical man, then well done, Mac.
Don't use the word diabolical like I do.
And finally, the other genuinely good film on this 9-film thing that we're doing here, Us. Duke.
Crawdaddy!
There, I was hoping you would hit it, you know. The fans love it, so
yeah.
Play the hits. George!
George! Crawdaddy! I can also do the other Crawdaddy's voice.
I legitimately remembered it this split second before you started doing the impressions. I knew it was coming, but it still shocked me.
Oh no!
A really good movie.
Yeah.
Really interesting, clever premise and execution, and great performances all around. Especially Lupita Nyong'o as both characters.
Yeah, she's very good.
Good twist.
Both. That is. I'll say, I didn't like this movie as much as Get Out.
No.
I think Get Out is still better, but that twist at the end was
very good. Yeah,
I'll have to say.
It had also decent horror, good some good spooks in there.
I was spooked.
And good comedy as well. Yeah, it didn't mix it as well as Get Out, but we shouldn't. I don't know. I don't think we should judge it based on Get Out. In general, I think it's a really good film on its own.
Yeah, me too. No, very, very good.
Trivia A. Winston Duke was forced to redo the dab scene 78 times because Jordan Peele felt each one was too sexy and would get the film rated X instead of rated R. Or, option B, there's no hidden meaning for Gabe's infatuation with the boat. Jordan Peele simply wanted Gabe to have a boat as a status symbol. I mainly just included that because it involved the Crawdaddy moment. So
because the Crawdaddy do deserve a boat.
So yeah. Well, you can guess. You can assume.
That one's too difficult. I don't think I want to guess. I'll make a fool of myself either way.
And there you have it. That is part 2 of the Woody's collection. I know, I think Cian did a letterboxed collection or something, so that is part 2. And hopefully we'll get to part 3 sometime in the near-ish future, now that we're doing episodes week to week again. Well, it's like the old days.
God, I had to say, it feels good to be back.
It does.
Proper back.
I missed the sound of my own voice, you know? I haven't talked since.
Editing yourself for hours must be satisfactory.
God, you have no idea how terrible it is. So, yeah. So that's that. Rip Woody. But, Woody is people, not place. Time for the announcements and such. Oh my god, I almost forgot to include the Tom Cnews.
Oh, sorry. What did I won't lie to you.
Freddie,
it looked like you were looking at your screen, and then I just see like
Freddie just looked at me like he was like it's like a horror movie. The Tom Cnews.
Welcome to
the Tom Cnews. Insert theme song. Well, I've just looked up Tom Cruise's name.
Well, I have no news.
I just wanted to do that bit, sorry. I see Palm Clementif and Tom Cruise trash talk Chris Hemsworth for charity. Not sure how this works, but I'm intrigued. I think this was like a joke. This is one of those humorous things that people have been telling me about. I don't really get them.
One of those impractical jokesters things.
Okay. Good on Cruise. Let me see if I can find what Cruise says here. The actor is joined by her Mission Impossible 7 co-stars in the final scene, as she sings, "One thing I'm certain of, and I'm sorry to break your heart, but my team is better than yours." Doesn't even really rhyme, so I don't really...
I'm kind of confused as to what it is you're talking about.
I think I'm genuinely more confused than you are.
Chris Hemsworth's charity event.
No, so they made like a music video that's like making fun of Chris Hemsworth for charity or something, and then Tom Cruise shows up at the end. He does. There he is. He's looking on pegs there. Oh my god.
Oh.
It's just such a nightmare. Wait, let me see if I can share my screen with you here real quick. I think... no, we have to restart it. Alright, we'll do it some other time. Well, anyway, this has been a pretty stinky Tom Cruise, but basically Tom Cruise did like a meme.
I also don't know what the Tom Cruise is.
I think, okay, what's her name? Mantis from...
All you said was pegs there, and then you went quiet into investigative mode.
Okay, so it's
which I get, but please.
So, Palm Clementif, for the girl who plays Mantis in the Avengers.
Okay, yes.
She did like a joke parody, like music video making fun of Chris Hemsworth for charity, for whatever reason. I mean, for charity, I just said it.
Don't know why you do that, but okay.
She did it for charity, and then at the end, Tom Cruise makes a little cameo, and then, but also Peg's there. I want to show you Peg. Look at him. He's so scary. And Rebecca Ferguson is also there, but she's not as as memeable as Peg. Anyway, that's the Tom Cnews for this week, I guess.
Let's see here.
We'll try better next time.
Oh my god, why is he so terrifying?
Peg looks like he wants to eat us.
Peg looks like he just ate what's his name? I was gonna say Vince Vaughn, but
just slightly off. Anyway, that's been the Tom Cnews for this week. Then we got this video from JC Comics on the email, bhltinvids@gmail.com. I'll send it to you later, but I'll do a little brief description here for you. It's basically a video of... What is it again, actually? I'm not forgotten.
What did he send?
Oh, yes. It's based on something we said in the last episode, where it's all the moments where Batman says, "I'm Batman," but it's replaced by a video of Al Pacino saying Dunkachino. So you can only imagine how great that is, and I'll send that to you at a later time and put it in here.
That's the stupidest video.
What are you? Dunkachino. What the hell are you? Dunkachino. The hell are you supposed to be?
And then on the fan pages, also this is going to be the longest episode we've done in forever. So
I know we're already at an hour and 7 minutes.
And then on the fan pages, Cian has posted this new Ham trailer, a new Ham movie with Krasinski's wife and Jamie Dornan set in Ireland. I've not seen this, but I'll have to give that a look. Ham does look pretty confused.
Pretty hammy.
Then
hammy.
Oh yeah, then he's posted my appearance in Cinema Geek's face reveal video that I did a little cameo in as a little meme. Have I ever told you about this? It was a while ago.
No.
It was
Wait, so Cinema Geek did his own face reveal.
Yeah, and then there was a little meme at the start where it's all right, I'm gonna do my face reveal in 3, 2, 1, and then I show up and I'm like, God, I'm Cinema Geek this whole time. Gotcha.
Prank.
It's a pretty good prank.
That'd be the saddest reveal that you've been doing all the fancy stuff and
and
we got something from Cinema Geek. Great comment, man.
And I did put in an Oscar-worthy performance in that one, if I recall correctly. But yeah, so that's the explanation for that. He asked if I would do it, and I said yes. So that's.
Oh wait, I thought he just took it out of your face reveal.
No. He was like, hey, do you want to do a little meme thing? Because we'd collaborated before, and I was like, yeah, sure. So.
How many subscribers does Cinema Geek have?
6.2K.
What?
Yeah, more than FTK
awesome.
Gaming.
I thought he surpassed me a long time ago.
So yeah, it's not much of an exciting story, but that's the story there. And then just posted 17 hours ago, I'm just seeing this now, which I think is an excellent meme. Have you seen this, where it says, when the Poorly Planned Podcast uploads a quiz episode? This is so specific, I love it. And then it's that farmer meme where it's like, it ain't much, but it's honest work. But it says, it ain't episode 19, but it's the Poorly Planned Podcast. So, which I do.
Is episode 19 our favorite?
I do think that's an iconic episode. It's the one where we talk about best and worst superhero movie costumes, and it contains genuinely, I think, our funniest moments of the entire. Some of our funniest moments of the entire run.
I'll have to go back and watch
it's a pretty good one, especially I think when we talk about the Batman costumes. It's very good. But yeah, I appreciate that it's recognized that yes, the quiz episodes are kind of our 6 episode of the day recording kind of phoning it in episodes.
It's good that the people know.
But we do our best. And look, the week after that, you get an hour and 10 minutes or something, whatever this is going to be. So
yeah,
boom.
Come on now.
But yeah,
I cannot
love that.
Do you think they'll make a meme about the length here?
Ooh, I dare you, Cian. Make a meme about the duration of this video. And so again, this is recording on Sunday, so there's probably gonna be a bunch of stuff this week, but we'll get to it next week. So these are pre-recorded still, but it's only a week in advance. So boom, you don't even know what's going on.
Lovely.
So, I think that's the announcements and such for this week. And I think that's the episode for this week. My goodness.
Oh my god.
So the first international recording hopefully has gone well. We'll see.
We'll just say intercontinental.
I did say that before we started recording.
Intercontinental sounds pretty cool.
And then I was like, wait a minute. We're totally not. But, yeah, so hopefully, this potentially will be a huge bitch to edit, but I've never been known to complain,
This is going to be the worst time of my life, but I won't let you guys know about it.
But hopefully I'll be able to get it out by Friday, and hopefully it's all good, and hopefully the audio quality is all good. So, thank you very much for listening. You can find me on YouTube, BHL Hudson, Instagram, Twitter, BHL_Hudson. You can email the pod at bhlhudsonvids@gmail.com.
You can find me on Twitter at FDK_DaltSniper. You can find me on YouTube at FDK Space Gaming. And you can find me on Instagram at FDalgar.
And if you are listening on YouTube, the podcast is on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Or if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, it's on YouTube. Just search Poorly Planned Podcast. And there's fun little video content in the podcast and all that. And yeah, it's all good stuff. So,
yeah.
Thank you very much for listening. And we will see you next time.
Wow!